Hello! Yesterday we reviewed all of our accomplishments for 2025, and today we are going to take a deep dive into all of our numbers and statistics and student stories. I do have to note that these numbers are as of a couple weeks ago because everything is manual and I needed to record these videos ahead of time. So just know at the time that you're watching this video, the numbers probably have gone up since then. Speaking of manual work, our Chief Operating Officer, Steve, made all of these numbers possible. He went in and broke everything down, so I had these statistics to share with you. So I just needed to give him a huge shout out because he's been like a godsend to our organization. He has linked us with so many people and connected us with so many opportunities. He's doing so much work behind the scenes that it truly is amazing. So Steve, thank you so much for all the work that you're doing and helping us advance this mission. I just need you to know that I appreciate you way more than you will ever understand, and just thank you again for everything that you're doing for us. On to the numbers. We are going to break everything down, looking first at the macro and then going to the micro, or in other words, going from the big picture, overall numbers, to the small picture, the individual student stories that are taking classes with us. So first, we are a nationwide organization. We have had students from 35 different states, including DC, which is 70% of the nation. We're also a worldwide organization, having had students from 7 different countries. We have had 527 seats taken in courses, seats, not students. We'll talk about actual students a bit later. Of those 527 seats, 360 went to mission students and 167 went to standard students. Of the mission student seats, 143 were given in 2024, 166 in 2025, and 51 already for 2026. Two notes on this. More than half of the seats given out were given to mission students, and we gave out more seats this year than we did last year, which is exactly the mission. So far this year, we have hosted 32 courses and have 3 more posted, which will be about 192 course hours for all of 2025. Our courses also have a 94% completion rate. Well, it's 93.6, but that's close enough. And nearly 1/3 of all students complete 2 or more courses, meaning we offer relevant and interesting and practical courses with excellent teachers, if I do say so myself. Now looking specifically at students, not seats, students. We have an all-time number of 213 students, which more than doubles the number of students we had last year, which was 105. Of those students, 40% are mission students, 87 compared to 126 standard. Combining that with the numbers before, our mission students take 3.4 courses compared to our standard students who take about 1.6 courses. That's a 2-to-1 ratio. In other words, our mission students take 2 times more courses than our standard students. These numbers show that we are making learning woodworking more accessible because we are waiving that cost barrier, and mission students can come back time and time again to take courses with us, which is exactly what we want. It does also help that we do have great courses and great teachers. Looking at mission students specifically, nearly half, 47% are veterans with a disability, 2/3 or 64% have a mental health diagnosis, and 24% have a physical disability. Side note, you will see that this does not add up to 100. That is because some of our mission students have multiple diagnoses. Take a breath. I know that was a lot of numbers, but as I said before, we were going macro to micro. So now we're getting into that micro. We were going to look at individual student stories. After every single course, we send out an after-course survey, and there's a section in there where the students can share their journey with woodworking and mental health and how woodworking has improved their mental health. So I want to share with you some of the stories that we got from students in 2025. As a recovering alcoholic, this class started on day 250 of my complete sobriety. Never would I ever had taken a class like this when I was still drinking and using drugs every day. I have been able to devote more of my time to my interests and passions, and in turn, they feed my soul and help me feel healthier for it. This class taught me more about myself and the fears and self-doubts that I still wanted to hold on to. Working through the uncertainty with the guidance of a caring instructor helped me to get past my own ego and self-ridicule to embrace the journey of learning by pressing through my failures to earn my success. I relearned a lesson on acceptance in this class and through meeting other wonderful folk by my side. I was humbled seeing us all struggle and learn together, gaining a broader perspective of humanity outside of myself. 8/12/25. I'm really just starting my woodworking. I've done a few projects over the years and found it very calming. Being able to focus on a simple task and drown out the noise really gave me the opportunity to rest my mind and heal. Watching these wood projects take shape has a very satisfying feeling, and the use of hand tools from this course magnified that feeling. 72725. As someone with depression and ADHD, hand tool woodworking does several things for my mental health. It gets me. It provides physical exercise, a creative outlet, and gets me away from the screens. I work in a high-tech field. Hand tool woodworking is a nice counterpart to my day job. Also, having a singular focus on a particular task has a very meditative, relaxing effect on me. 41425. And these are just 3 of the stories from last year. Every single time I read these stories, I am rejuvenated. It is showing me that the mission does work and that woodworking is more healing than people think it is. I've stated before that woodworking has saved lives, and it is true. It is that powerful, and these stories show you that. These are only 3 of them, but we do have them all listed on our website. Every time a student shares our story, we post it on there so you can go see directly the micro level of the students that we are working with. I know we talk a lot about a lot of the numbers and a lot of these accomplishments, but I need you to always recognize that these individual stories, that is the main thing. Us being able to change the lives of an individual and make woodworking more accessible for them, that is the entire reason all of these accomplishments matter. And all of this advancement matters is those stories right there, those people that we are helping. So I do highly recommend going to our website and reading more of those stories so you can see why we are so passionate about this mission and why we are fighting so hard for it. There is one more story that I want to read, but it's not from a mission student, but ever since I read it, it has stood out to me. So I do want to share that one with you. I do not have a disability, so perhaps it is not my place to say. But having sat virtually for a total of over 8 hours among a bunch of people who serenely work together, occasionally sharing a bit about their personal struggle or a gripe about it that others could understand, I can only imagine how that must be helpful and hopefully healing. At intervals, each of us had to show our progress with our carving, and the group's comments were universally encouraging, even to the guy who started carving a man and ended up with a chicken. For a few hours, it was a tiny, accepting community. 32425. My takeaway from this: students worked together, shared about themselves. It is helpful, healing, and encouraging. It was a tiny, accepting community. That is what we strive for. That is what these courses are all about. It's not just learning woodworking, it's deeper than that. We get together. We learn together. We encourage each other. We heal together. There's a question that I've received a few times that is, why don't you just have teachers record something and then make it available for sale? Or why don't you just post YouTube videos? How can you expect students to be available at a scheduled time? These stories are why we do this. It's more important to us that people get together and share these experiences together, learn together, heal together. As woodworkers, most of the time we are alone in our shops. Maybe every once in a while, a couple times a year, you have a friend come over and you build something together. Or here and there, you go out to a woodworking show. But how often do you actually get to build with somebody else and have that community with somebody else? We need more of that. And having these virtual courses is making that possible. Because even though it is virtual, you are still connected to those other people. A tiny, accepting community, if even for a short time. The other thing with looking at virtual versus in-person courses are great. We have them also. If you can get out to them, I highly recommend them. But it's a barrier for a lot of people because you have to take time off of work. You have to travel. You have to pay for the class. You have to pay for materials, food while you're there. What if you can't do that? What if that is not within your finances to be able to do? Are you just SOL? You got to stick to YouTube and that's it? You don't get a chance at that community? Not anymore. Not with us here, not with Plain Wellness here. We are changing that. If you can't travel to a course, we have you virtually. You can still be a part of that community and engage and connect with others, all while learning woodworking and healing at the same time. So I just needed to answer. That's why we don't record and sell the courses like most other things do. And that's also why we don't do the YouTube video thing, because the community is more important to us than the financial gain we might get from either of those platforms. So for those of you that have supported us in any way, whether that's financially, spreading the word with us, or taking a course with us, thank you for helping us build this community. Thank you for being a part of this mission, because you are making all of this possible. You are improving the lives of the individual students that we serve. So I will always and forever be grateful for everything that you guys have done for us, and the students are too, even if you don't get to hear it from them. They often do add things like that in their stories and in their course reviews about just, thank you for the opportunity. So again, I highly recommend checking those out. And tomorrow we are going to do a video that's going to review all of our finances for 2025, and then we're also going to talk about the dream of the Plain Wellness Retreat facility, so I hope you tune into that one. Thank you.